The Commons. So today on The Commons, we have a really exciting question period that came out. Justin Trudeau finally showed up, and there's those rumors that's been going on about him. We're trying to confirm it or deny it. We really don't care personally. We think in Canadian politics, personal life shouldn't matter. But here's a couple skits, really exciting.
Canadians were asking themselves in 2015 because Stephen Harper and the Conservatives added over $150 billion to the national debt with nothing to show for it. We made the decision to invest in Canadians instead, put more money in the pockets of middle class. And what did we get? 1 million Canadians lifted out of poverty, over 1 million jobs created. What did they do? Cuts to services for veterans, cuts to health care, cuts to things that Canadians need. We now have room to maneuver to invest in the Canadian economy because of coronavirus. That's what we chose to do, Mr. Speaker.
The honourable member for Carleton. Instead of defending his record, he states falsehoods about our record. There were two Conservative budgets prior to the Great Global Recession. And let's look at those budgets. 2006, according to the public accounts, a $13.8 billion surplus. 2007, delivered again by Jim Flaherty, a $9.6 billion surplus. Conservatives did the responsible thing and paid off debt to cushion us against the hard times that were to come, and that's why we had the strongest response to the Great Global Recession. Why did he spend the cupboard bare in the good times and leave us so weak and vulnerable now in the hard times?
Right Honourable Prime Minister. Speaker, the member opposite asks a good question. Why? Why did we invest in Canadians? Why did we put more money in the pockets of the middle class? Because we knew it would create growth for Canadians. It would lift millions of people out of poverty. It would support families and seniors. It would grow our economy by investing in infrastructure that they had neglected for a decade, Mr. Speaker. Our investments have created growth that gives us the room to maneuver now, and we have the firepower to be able to invest in our economy given the coronavirus challenge, Mr. Speaker.
I do find it odd that they're using Harper. He was the Prime Minister 4 years ago, and he'll be 2 leaders ago. Yes, Stephen Harper still has a bit of say, obviously, in the back room, but we really don't know. Another thing here, we have the Bloc Québécois. Now, we heard that the Bloc were a part of not seeing the Ethics Committee again, that they didn't want it. And really, we have, this is what we think, down, out of there. The Bloc Québécois have no use for a separatist party. Like, we don't wish violence upon them or anything, but we're going to work hard next election to make sure we don't see them very much.
Working hard to join it, to join it.
Of Canadians who were within $200 of insolvency before the coronavirus crisis hit would disagree that he invested in them. He says that we neglected to give $12 million to Loblaws. He's right that we neglected to give $50 million to MasterCard. He's right about that too. He is right that we neglected to give money to the big, well-connected corporate insiders whom he has favored with his deficit spending over the last 4 years. Mr. Speaker, is he now setting the stage to fill the coffers of his friends, to bloat the government, and to balloon the deficit with all of his rhetoric today?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister. Conservatives neglected to invest in our veterans by shuttering 9 veteran service centres. They neglected to invest in health care for our most vulnerable by shutting down refugee health care. Mr. Speaker, we made the decision to invest in Canadians and have reduced poverty more than any other government, lifting 1 million Canadians out of poverty over these past years, Mr. Speaker. And we did it because we know that investing in Canadians, investing for our future by supporting the middle class and people working hard to join it is exactly what Canadians need from a government.
Okay, so next we have this.
Mr. Speaker, things are not going well, and if the Prime Minister wants to blame somebody, he better stop blaming Stephen Harper. Look in the mirror, because he's to blame for the situation we are in right now.
Parliamentary Secretary Sean Fraser, really, the way he was mocking yesterday in question period, I was livid. I actually made a video I had to delete on my own accord. Civil, right? So here he is again. He's toned down.
Prices tanked and markets tumbled. This Prime Minister was setting the stage for Canada to fail. As soon as he was elected, he set out to do two things. One, kill our energy sector, and two, spend as much as possible. Well, congratulations, Prime Minister. Mission accomplished. Today, over $150 billion in energy capital has left, over 200,000 jobs gone, and another $100 billion added to the debt. So when will the Prime Minister finally stop inflicting such damage on this country?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister. The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary.
With respect to my colleague, the selective use of memory is simply astounding. If I look back to the Harper government's record, I'll note that they added $150 billion to the national debt and had the slowest rate of economic growth since the Great Depression. Over the past 4.5 years,
some people are made for politics, some people weren't, and I think that guy just wasn't. He seems to be just one of those, just too arrogant and unhealthy looking.
19 on the world economy, much less the Canadian economy. Newsflash, Mr. Speaker, things are not going well. And if the Prime Minister wants to blame somebody, he better stop blaming Stephen Harper. Look in the mirror, because he's to blame for the situation we are in right now. So when is the Prime Minister going to finally admit he has done massive damage to our economy? Things are not well, and things need to change.
The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary.
Maybe it's because I was in the military, but if you can't put your pocket square in, a tie holder, a pin in, you don't know how to dress. Like, subscribe and comment, Safe Space Cafe. What do you think? Leave your comments down below and have a good day.